What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel where I discuss professional development, the accounting lifestyle, and everything in between. If that sounds awesome to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and welcome to the family. All right, guys, today we got a very special episode, and that is Beyond the Financial Statements podcast episode number 2, where this podcast is solely dedicated to interviewing entrepreneurs, CPAs, and people that are just killing it at life. And today we have none other than Tanner Cox. Tanner is currently an audit manager at Ernst & Young and a competitive obstacle course racer. He just does it all. Today we talked about working from home, his journey through the CPA exam, how he manages personal life as professional life, and how the heck he's able to stay so freaking fit all year. So I hope you guys get a ton of value from the conversation. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Welcome back to the channel where I discuss professional development, all things accounting related, and everything in between. If that sounds awesome to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and welcome to the family. All right, guys, today was a very, very special day. We have the second official episode of Beyond the Financial Statements, where we have professionals, entrepreneurs, CPAs, and just everyone that's just killing it in the game of life. And today we have none other than, I'm totally going to fanboy over this, Tanner Cox, audit manager at Ernst & Young, and let me get this right, obstacle course racer, right? He's just amazing at it. Yeah, I've been following him now for a year. We've been friends on Instagram for so long. And honestly, I totally, before we even started recording, I totally fanboyed over him. Super cool to finally meet him. And yeah, today we're going to share his story through public accounting, CPA exam, getting engaged, buying a home, and how he stays so freaking fit throughout the whole process. So Tanner, if you want to kind of kick it off, give us a little bit of your background.
Yep. So I'm an insurance manager at Ernst & Young out of Chicago. Basically my free time, do a lot of obstacle course racing, been doing it competitively since 2018. Definitely keeps me motivated working out and outside of.
Nice. So dude, give us your story. Like, how did you get into public accounting? Like, what is the background? Because I find that so many people, it's so weird. Like I tell my story all the time, but like none of my family members were in accounting. No one was a CPA. So like, how'd you stumble upon it? Like, give us that background.
Yeah. So same with me. None of my family was in got another CPA license or anything like that. So the way what got me interested in it was, I don't know if you played when you were a kid, like these like tycoon type of games and everything like that. So like the Zoo Tycoon and like the Mall Tycoon, all those type computer games. Yeah. I was always fascinated by business, finances and stuff. So I think that kind of got me driven toward like all business mindsets, kind of managing finances. And then I took my first accounting course I was a sophomore in high school. It seemed so easy for me. Everything was clicking for me. I know it's like a lot of people seem to be struggling with accounting in high school. It's like just natural. And I took another year of accounting in high school. I just figured maybe this is my path right here to go down. So that's where it all started. So I knew going right into college that accounting was kind of the role for me. Natural, immediately. You're just kind of go along that path.
Nice, dude. So you actually took accounting in high school.
Honestly, yeah.
That's funny. My high school didn't offer accounting. So like, in high school, did you decide, hey, look, this is for me, this is what I'm going to do?
I did, yeah. So I took it like in my sophomore and junior year.
Wow.
And then my high school, I actually like the first year, we kind of created like a school store, basically, sell merchandise and stuff. Created the whole GL system, the accounting books, and for my senior year of high school. That's kind of from that point, like, yep, accounting is the way to go. So I went to University of Wisconsin, Madison. Got my undergrad there, also got my master's there as well.
Nice. Tony, your audio is going a little bit off and on again. That's a little better.
Okay. You can
cool.
Hear me all right?
Awesome. Yeah, perfect, great, awesome, cool, dude. So like, that's awesome, man. Because I feel like so many people, they don't stumble upon accounting until they get into college and they have no idea it's even a thing or a profession or, how good you can do in the profession. So I think that's awesome that you actually found out in high school and then you kind of took on that project. So did you go into straight to a 4-year out of high school, or you went to a community college, or how'd that process go?
Yeah, so I went straight from high school basically to University.
Oh, dude, audio is so much better, by the way. Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Okay.
Yep. So I went straight from high school to University of Wisconsin. Got my undergrad in accounting there. Got my master's in accounting as well. It was in a 5-year program in
Wisconsin. Nice, awesome. And then how did you like the recruitment process start for you? Because I feel like so many people don't have really a clue as to how the big firms start recruiting, when they start recruiting. I mean, I have my own story and I tell it all the time, but let's hear about yours. Like, how did you even hear about Big Four? How did you hear about, hey, is Ernst & Young the right firm for me? Why not Deloitte? Why not RSM? Why not so many other firms. So kind of, can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so at my University of Wisconsin, they kind of have a master's program, and kind of starting your sophomore year, even your junior year, once you get accepted into the master's program, you have so many network opportunities, kind of network with all the big four firms as well as mid-sized firms and industry companies as well. So I definitely had a lot of communication with all big four firms. I interviewed with all big four, and I also interviewed with Bladry at the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wow, that's funny.
Actually,
And then
did end up interviewing with them.
really, wow, that's awesome. And then did your school have like a good were you involved in like any clubs on campus or like any other organizations while you were in school?
Yep, so I was involved in Beta Alpha Psi.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. I think we all were. That's great. Highly recommend, people that are listening to this that are in college, definitely look into your, local organization stuff. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was gonna say today you got so many networking opportunities. So I ended up going to Chicago, got to go to a lot of Chicago offices there, network with all the people. Because honestly, the more you kind of expose yourself to all the different individuals, you kind of get to learn like people's personality, all the content. The line of work you do at a lot of the firms are kind of be all very similar.
Yep.
It's a matter of kind of finding, all right, what people do you connect with the most? But I definitely encourage people to network as much as possible with all the professionals.
Oh no, yeah, I completely agree. I mean, the same thing with you. I started recruiting for my firm. Man, I think I was a junior, right in that junior sweet spot year. And I was involved with Beta Psi, all the local organizations. And yeah, to your point, I interviewed with, I don't know how many firms, a few big four. And at the time, McGladry, RSM now, it just felt right. That's really, I think that's my best advice to people is that go where you feel like they're going to support you. Go where you feel like, I don't know, where you feel like you connected with the interviewer, where you feel like you're maybe a little bit more comfortable. Because to your point, I feel like, yeah, you do audit at Ernst & Young, I do audit at RSM. At the end of the day, we kind of do the same thing, right? I mean, like sure, there's little differences in how maybe our audit approach, but at the end of the day, it's the same concept, right? So yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is that go where you feel comfortable, go where you feel like you're going to be supported. And I think networking is huge in that aspect. So then, dude, if you can take us through like your first year in public accounting, how was that? Was it like a complete shock to you, like it was to me, or how'd that
It
first year
was.
go?
I knew I had an internship with Ernst & Young. I had a busy season internship during college, so kind of got a firsthand experience. All right, here's the worst of how it's going to be essentially. We're going right in. There's definitely a big learning curve. That full first year, you feel completely lost the entire time.
Oh yeah.
So things didn't start to click until maybe about halfway through my second year. It's like, okay, you start doing all these random tasks, one off all everywhere. You can see how they all kind of fit together in the whole puzzle, basically. Only to that second year till it clicks. But I always have to kind of remind my staff, like when I'm talking, like, hey, it's okay to feel completely lost. Things aren't going to start clicking until, for me, it didn't start till the second year. So it's completely normal as you're trying to go through everything. Like, get it for the first time, everything. It's like, I have no idea. Don't really understand.
Yeah, your audio's breaking out a little bit again, dude. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Let me try putting on this headset.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, and then while you put that on, I mean, no, I completely agree, Dan. It's funny because I just made a video, I think the last video I uploaded, where I said, I mean, not only in accounting, but just if you are dealing with, and you're going to be in a profession that requires some type of technical ability, count on being lost for at least a year. I say at least a year, at least.
Yeah.
It didn't start clicking for me until legitimately I started working for the firm November 10th, 2014. I clearly remember, dude, November 10th, 2015, it was like I was blind, but now I see. Like I woke up and I was like, oh God, I can like audit now. Like I could do this, and I felt so much better. So yeah, no, dude, I completely agree. I feel like so many people get so discouraged that first year. And that's why I think public accounting has a lot of turnover. Obviously, there is, a lot of hours that we work and what have you, but oh no, I think the biggest thing is people get discouraged, because it's tough for sure. It is tough.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. All right, try to switch over audio there. I don't think it's working.
Cool. We'll keep it on. I'll let you know if it breaks out a little bit.
Okay.
Cool. So then after your first year, like how was your kind of and then when did you start taking the exam? That's what I'm most interested on. Like when did you start taking it right after graduation, throughout during your first year? Kind of like take us through that process.
Yep. So I tried to take it all. So I graduated in May of 2015. And then I knew I was starting full time in September of that year. So I I tried to see if I could pass all 4 exams first try that summer. So I took BEC FAR right away. And I know BEC I took maybe 2 weeks after I graduated. Some miracle I passed that on the first try.
Oh God, yeah.
FAR a month later, passed that on the first try, thankfully. Then I took audit a month after that in late July. Failed that. Ended up getting like a 73 on it. Like, shoot.
Oh, that's tough, man. That's horrible, dude. So you passed it pretty quickly, like pretty much right after you graduated. So was it like the interim period between you graduated and you started working, or?
Yep.
Wow. So what month did you graduate from college?
I graduated in May of 2015.
Nice. And then how many were you done with by the time you started college?
But I only ended up passing 2. I ended up
failing.
failing.
Oh, no, dude, same here.
Yep. I ended up failing audit and I failed reg before I ended up starting. So I had to take those as well.
Wow, no, dude, it's funny because I literally I took the first one I took was reg. Horrendous, dude. Oh my. Okay, I passed.
Yeah.
Dude, God knows how I passed. But yeah, so I took reg first. Dude, I don't know if you ever heard about another71.com.
I don't think I have.
Yeah. So anyways, so I use that platform, like, to kind of like misery loves company kind of, where I would go and be like, I hate this, whatever. But also too, they have great products, which I highly recommend. Working on a sponsorship, hopefully with them soon. But yeah, I highly recommend them because I actually use the products. And yeah, I did horrible. I felt like I did horrible on reg. So I went on there and I'm like, oh yeah, I hate my life. Like I studied this long and my parents are going to be disappointed. And dude, it was horrible. Right. But yeah, I ended up passing that. And then right after, I think I took BEC, I started studying like BEC. And then, yeah, man, I was pretty much done with 2 by the time I started in November. So is that kind of similar to what you did?
Yep. Very similar.
Nice. And then how was it studying for your last 2 while working in public accounting?
So before busy season, I know I ended up taking reg again that fall after I had started full time. Failed it a second time. I ended up getting I got like every time I failed, I got a 73 or a 74. So I kept so close every time.
Wait, how many? So okay, so you passed one first try, right? That was you said
C and FAR on the first try.
Got it. And then reg was the third one.
Yep, reg I failed.
While you were working in public accounting, right?
Yep.
And you failed it 3 times.
I failed it twice. I failed reg twice.
Dude, how was that? Like, how'd you feel at the time? I mean, you're working, right? You're in public accounting. You're like struggling to even understand work, right? Work itself is like literally like college again. And then you're going through this exam, which is like, dude, we're auditors, right? Like our brain just doesn't, I swear, dude, I don't like tax. I just don't like tax.
Same.
And I never even had an interest in it. Like and then dude, that exam was the hardest to study for because I just didn't like the material. So dude, how'd you pick yourself up from that? Like, cause I feel like a lot of people will put themselves down. They'll like dig themselves in a hole. It's like, oh, I can't do this. I'm not meant for it. What have you? How'd you pick yourself up from that, dude? Like, what did you tell yourself? Like, how did you find the motivation to not only excel at work, but then also like continue the exam?
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, it's always hard when you fail, but when I fail at something, I always use it like an opportunity.
Yep.
Like, okay, I failed it. And then I kind of focus on, all right, what caused me to fail it? Like certain areas. I know coming out of the exam, there was a certain area that I wasn't doing well. Okay, come back, take the exam again. Focus a lot of time on my weakness here. Come back and pass it again. Try and pass it. Eventually, I ended up taking it again May of the next year. Passing reg on my third try.
Nice.
I mean, it all works out. It's just trying to pay attention. I try to be very mindful while I'm taking the exam. Okay, where am I struggling at? Try to keep it mental notes. After the exam, I always jot down notes. Like, okay, I don't think I did very well in this part. Just in case, if you don't find out your exams 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
Well, I always like to have that memory. Okay, my first instinct after I got out of the exam. All right, I didn't do very well on contract law or this part of taxes. So I always write it down and remember it. At least I get my score back. Like, oh, I failed it. Okay, I went back to my notes. Here's what I need to focus on.
Got it. No, yeah, I completely agree. So would you recommend people take the approach of, all right, let's say you fail an exam, unfortunate, kind of look back and be like, all right, what did I because it tells you on the scorecard, right? Like what sections you did really bad on. And I feel like even before you take the exam, you kind of know, right? Like you kind of know what you don't feel that good in and what you don't feel or what you feel really good in, right? And then, dude, that's crazy, man. I mean, because I'll be honest with you, I passed all 4 on the first try. I'm not trying to, say I'm smart by any means. I just got lucky. But dude,
if I would have failed one while I was working and like the first year I had, which, dude, I'll be honest with you, I had a pretty bad first year. Like I was, now that, being a manager at the firm, I do feel like I am definitely one of the more, I guess top performers within the office and stuff. And but dude, that was like it's night and day with how I felt as a first year staff. Oh, dude, it was bad. Like we have so many people in our first year group. I was like not even top of the half. Not even like I was just like some guy, that worked there. And honestly, dude, it's funny. I tell the story all the time, but I actually interviewed at EY after my first year at RSM.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude, I did. I was no, I'm telling you, it was horrible. I was like,
Yeah.
I hate it here. Like, and it had nothing to do with the firm itself. It was just like I didn't feel good. And it's just sometimes it's luck of the draw with like what type of clients you get put on, who's on your teams. And dude, thankfully, man, I found a mentor that just completely changed like literally my life, dude, and my trajectory in my career. So that's why I always recommend people to find someone that's going to help you progress in your career. Find someone that you want to emulate, like that's in your profession, and learn from them. See what they do, see how they interact with clients. And dude, I really just kind of like was a sponge with her. And yeah, man, thankfully, I'm still here. I'm an audit manager now, but no, dude, that's awesome how you were able to kind of persevere through that. So then you failed acute. So then, and now it's May. Now, what year is this? May 2016. So it's a year from the time you started taking, you passed FAR BC, failed 2 times reg. Now we're at May 2016, and you finally passed reg, right?
Yep.
So you have one more at that point. So then when did you take the last one?
I actually ended up taking audits in April. First, I took that one first before I ended up passing reg on the last try. So I took audits.
Wait, so you took audit for a second time?
Yep, I took audit for a second time.
Wow.
So I took audit the first time before I started, got a 73 or 74. And then I feel like being in the actual line of work, going through a busy season, audit work, the audit exam was so much easier the second time.
Yeah, dude. I tell everyone, if you're going to go into audit, take the audit exam after your first busy season. Dude, okay, so a big reason why I was able to get, I got like straight 76s or 79s on everything except for audit. Dude, audit, I'm not saying it was a breeze, but going through my first busy season, oh man, it was so much easier for sure. I completely agree.
Yeah, because before I took it, before I even started audit, I got a 73. Took it after busy season, I got a 97 on audit. Like night and day on how much easier it was.
You got a 97.
I did, yeah. I feel like it was completely different. Like, okay, I actually know if you're going through reading this material, like I know what this is. I just did this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
exactly.
Basically, just memorizing stuff, basically.
Yeah, same here. It's funny. I remember. I think I know. You're not supposed to disclose what kind of questions you got, but I know. One of the like task-based simulations. I had literally, I swear, done the same test work the day before at work. No, dude, I was like, this is a joke. Like, I feel like I'm cheating. I'm like, this is not right. Because I just knew how to do it because I literally had done it for a year already, So yeah, highly recommend anyone watching this, going through the exams, going through your first year in public accounting, take audit after you do a year busy season. I cannot stress that enough. It literally knocks off like one exam for you. Obviously, you still got to study. Obviously, yes, I still recommend you do what you have to do, but it's going to be a lot less painful, specifically if you have an audit background. Cool. So now that you're kind of after your first year, got through your first year, now you're all done with your exams. So then, dude, kind of how did you start thinking like what was your kind of career progression to kind of where you are now?
So I'm in my 5th year. I'm in my, I guess, counting my internship, my 7th busy season.
Nice.
But yeah, so I've been on a wide range of clients, did quite a bit of traveling with all my clients as well. I've had the opportunity, I know, kind of back to one point before, on a lot of, like your first few years, it's so valuable to be on a good team, on people above you that invest time in you. And I was very fortunate to have that. I feel like my first 2 years, having seniors above me, managers above me, really wanted to invest time in me to kind of help further my career development. So I noticed in my first 2 years, I always took points. I always saw the people above me. I always took note of the attributes I liked from individual seniors above me. So I know when I got to the senior level, like, okay, I want to take what this person does well, what this person does well. I want that to be me when I can kind of be a successful senior myself as well as help the people below. That was kind of one big thing my first 2 years.
Oh yeah, I completely agree, dude. I think the biggest thing for me, looking back in my career and seeing what has worked, it's really that. It's really the people you work with. I feel like that's like make or break. And, sometimes, unfortunately, you get put on maybe not such a good team, maybe not such a good manager. And that's unfortunate, but I think the best thing to mitigate that is for you yourself to become the change you want to see, right? That's why I think even me, myself, as a manager now, when I manage my teams, we got a million, dude, I know you and we have a million things going on, right? We have a client calling us here, a client calling us there, a job's on fire over here, something's popping off there, partner wants to talk. There's just, dude, sometimes I literally have to like take a step back and just be, all right, breathe. I'm all right. I'm good. Like, I'm not gonna die. Like, it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna be cool. But yeah, no, I completely agree. But at the same time, I do whenever dude, it's funny because like when I'll be looking at a file and someone prepared or someone did the work, right? For maybe some people that don't understand necessarily the jargon, the accounting jargon yet, someone prepares a work paper, right, or does the work. I literally go straight to the staff and I'm like, hey, like I got a question, and then they get like really scared because like I'm like a manager, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, like I'm like, dude, just chill. Like I'm not mad, man. I just want to understand it. Like I'm signing off. Like I want to understand and I want to teach you how I review and what I look at. And dude, after the call, it's like, like I'll be honest with you, man, like yesterday, I know it's tough for both of us. So yesterday I was working a little bit late and, one of my staff people was like, hey man, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Like, I know we're both going through it and it's March and it's tough, but you taking like 15 minutes to like walk me through how you think about it and what I don't see, I'm not going to mess this up again. I'm like, yeah, cool, man. Like, I'm not mad, dude. Like dude, it's tough. It's a tough profession. It's a tough job. And I understand that. And I've been there, messing up work papers, doing everything wrong. So now I'm like, man, what can I do to help the younger people continue to progress, right? And I feel like even whatever profession you're in, how are you going to continue to grow within the company, within the firm, if the people below you can't take your spot one day? Like I can't stress that enough. It's that you continue to grow the people beneath you so you can continue to grow yourself, because if no one can do your job eventually, then you're going to be stuck there forever.
Exactly. Yeah. And the more time you invest in people below you, it just, in the very end, it's going to make it easier for yourself. So invest that time now on those people in your senior coach them, help them as much as you can. Honestly, when the work comes back up to you, do review later, it's like, oh, that's already the way I hope to see it. It makes your job 100 times easier in the long run.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. That's another thing too. At the end of the day, it comes back full circle because then you end up reviewing cleaner work and you spend less time fixing it. So I completely agree, man. It's literally it's a chain effect. It really is. So then I'm just curious, man. So then when you start getting into, because for all you guys, please go check out Tanner's Instagram. You're gonna be like, what the dude? The guy looks like Hercules, man, like a real life Hercules. I'm jealous. I told him before we hopped on. I told him that, dude. I look at your Instagram sometimes, like, dude, I need to step up my fit game. So how'd you start getting into like Spartan obstacle races?
Yep. So it actually started in 2017. I was actually down in Houston, Texas during busy season. I was there for a weekend. It was in March. And I was like, oh, there's a Spartan race. Like, that looks kind of interesting. It's like an Instagram ad or something I saw. Like, oh, that seems pretty cool. Except before, I was just doing like your typical 5Ks, 10Ks, like road races. But I was like, oh, Spartan race, like, this is more than just running.
Yep.
Like, also, you got to have your like fitness aspect. Like, you got to be fit all around as opposed to like. So I decided to stay back in Houston one weekend. The race, like, oh, I did surprisingly well. Had a ton of fun. Ended up signing for a couple more races. Then I ended up starting doing it competitively in 2018, 2019. Did it competitively. Ended up racing in national championships.
Wait, you broke out a little bit, Dennis. Sorry.
Oh, so yeah, I started racing competitively in obstacle course racing in 2018, 2019, a little bit in 2020. COVID kind of ruined some of that.
Yeah. So, dude, you literally, let's check it back. You're on a job or whatever. Yep. You're 2017, right? So you're maybe level 2 staff at the time, senior, probably.
Yeah, I think it was a senior 1 at the time.
Okay. So, and then you're like, hey, I'm in, this city and they're having a Spartan race. You just looked it up and you're like, well, why don't I join? And that was literally it. And you were kind of hooked after.
Basically, yeah. Because I'm always looking for something, because I'm always passionate about working out. I'm trying to find what's that thing that's going to motivate me. So if I have like something that's like a goal or something, like I sign for a race, like, okay, I got to work hard towards that race because that's going to keep me motivated. I don't want to show up and just embarrass myself. consistently sign for races that are harder, tougher, more competitive. I just continue to motivate me. Okay, stay focused, stay dialed in, continue to eat well, work out, because I don't want to waste my time, waste my money that I'm paying for these races while I travel somewhere and just like.
No, yeah, dude. And then so like I find that with working out, right? I feel like the biggest thing, and one thing I'm just looking back, right? I turned 30 at the end of November, at the end of this year, right? And I'm trying to look back at my life in my 20s and think to myself, all right, what worked and what didn't? Like, when was I like on these strides of just like, man, I was feeling good, I was looking good, I was doing good. And it goes, dude, and I think the core thing is like one common factor was that I was always very, I guess, very active during those time periods in my life where I felt really good about myself. And I feel like it wasn't necessarily like and then, as a byproduct, I looked better, right? Just physically. And I feel like the biggest thing is that not necessarily like, oh, hey, do you do 3 reps of 10 or 3? It's finding something that you can consistently do every day that you enjoy doing, whether you call it Peloton now, whether you call it, I don't know, running, whether you call it lifting weights or whatever. So like, what do you recommend as far as like working out goes? Like, what would you say someone that's completely maybe a little bit out of shape, works a ton, whether it's school, work, like how would you say they should start getting into like fitness?
Yeah, so definitely start small. I mean, well, maybe if you never ran before, like for me, like I didn't run my first 5K until like 6 years. Start small, sign up for a 5K, work up to that, and then once you complete the 5K, okay, work on your next goal. Continue breaking up your goals. Don't start right away. All right, I'm going to run a half marathon this year. Ran a 5K. That's probably not the smartest thing. You're probably going to hurt yourself. Start your goals small. Start short term. Kind of build your way up. And once you set a goal or something, once you sign up for something, that's the thing that always helps me a lot. Sign up for something, and it's set in stone. I have something like a point in time to work towards. And I kind of work my plan back. Like, okay, 20 miles this week. Okay, next week I'll run 22 miles. I'll run 23 miles. Kind of slowly build up your work.
No, yeah, and then so would you say that back to my point, is it more so like, would you say maybe start running a little bit and then that kind of gets you in like a more, because I'll be honest with you, man, so I hated running. I hated running. But this morning, like before we hopped on, I did 3.5 miles. So I'm like committed now to like, you know what, every morning I run in, and then I'll be honest with you, man, like you motivated me. So I'm literally like on my fit game now. Like tomorrow, Monday, I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like resistance training. And then every other pretty much day, I'm going to be running anywhere from like 3 to 5 miles before work. So
yeah. So I think also at the same time, like I do recommend running. At the same time, you don't want to run too much because you have a liability to hurt yourself like that. Your body can only withstand so much for a period of time. You're going to shock the system. I know that's one mistake I made right away. Like, okay, try and run more and more, and I end up running too much. Give yourself. So then that's how I learned as well. I learned from a failure. Okay, I ran too much. Maybe I need to biking, or instead of running so much, maybe get some biking and some other training. So that you kind of learn your body along the way as well. So what works well for you, if it's like resistance training that works well for you, motivates you, keep resistance training, something like that.
Yep.
Running works well. Slowly build up those mileage. Don't try and run 10 miles today on the first day and then try to run 12 miles tomorrow. Don't try to set PRs every time as well.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing wrong with running easy runs. So it helps build up that muscular endurance without trying to basically break the system. Your body can only run so many PRs. So definitely save those for the time that matters most. Try running a PR every 6 weeks on a 5K. Try to run a PR on a 5K every single time you go out and run.
No, so like this morning, right? I feel like I was like, man, I don't want to get up. It took me literally, dude, it's so embarrassing. It took me like an hour, man. I was like, maybe I gotta meet with Tanner right now. Like I need to get ready. I'll run tomorrow. I'll run tomorrow. Dude, and I feel like sometimes you just gotta say, you know what? F it. Let's go. Like I'm tired. I don't feel good, but I feel like in life, if I did things when I felt good, oh, dude, I'd be so far behind. There's just certain things in life where you just gotta just do it. Like that's it.
Exactly.
There's no thought process. There's no whether I feel like it or not. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I do feel like running. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't want to go running, right? But then I feel like, and I swear, man, I feel like this always goes back to what I try to mention in my videos is that sometimes it's not necessarily about like, looking good or whatever. It's like really just setting a goal for something, whether it's waking up tomorrow at 7 a.m. and doing 10 push-ups. I promise you after that, you're going to feel so good about yourself. And that's going to continue to go across your day, and you're going to make better choices and better habits and better everything, right? So no, that's awesome. And so I'm very curious to know myself, how do you balance being a Spartan racer, obstacle racer, and public accounting, dude? How do you do it all? Like, what's your schedule like? Like, take us through a typical day in Tanner's life.
Yep. So every morning, whether it's a weekday or a weekend, I'm getting up at 4:45 a.m. Kind of that first time in the morning.
4:45.
4:45.
Very nice.
That's kind of from 4:45 to like 7 a.m. That's kind of my time. Like I'm not answering emails. I'm doing nothing with work. Not checking any messages that maybe I missed while I was sleeping, stuff like that. My time. Workouts. Focus on myself. That's kind of my dedicated time. Because if I try to push towards the end, like after the end of a long busy day, I'm just gonna make an excuse like I'm too tired. It's like I'm just gonna go to bed early. If I do it first thing in the morning, I feel accomplished right away. 7 a.m. I can start work like, all right, I feel accomplished. I ran this morning. Now and get the work done, and I feel it's more productive throughout my day. Days that I don't work out in the morning, or I just don't do anything, I just wake up and go straight to work, I just feel sluggish, like I just feel unmotivated and everything. So I just feel so accomplished. 7 a.m., already got 3 things done I always hope to do. Working out, focus on myself, and I kind of focus on work.
Oh, dude, I think you hit it on the head. I think the most important thing, and I say this all the time, go work on yourself before you go work for someone else. And whether you own your own business, whatever it is, work on yourself first. And I guarantee you, man, when the days I'm telling you, man, I'm really trying to audit like my 20s now that I'm going to turn 30 at the end of this year. And I'm literally like, what should I do? What has worked for me the most in the past few years? And it's really just sticking to something in the morning that I can do that's for myself. And throughout the rest of the day, I just feel so much better. I just feel like just great throughout the day.
Yeah.
And those times where I maybe don't work out in the morning, I just feel sluggish, man. Like during the meetings, like I don't know. It's just weird. Like those times that I've had like the best days in my life, it always starts 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., go for a run, go resistance training, do whatever I have to do for myself. And then you kind of handle the day. So then if you wake up at 4:45, what time do you go to sleep? That's my biggest question.
Yep. So my goal is to always get the 7 hours of sleep in. So I always try to, even during busy season, my schedule's a little different. I know some people kind of want to work like long hours, Monday through Thursday. They're putting in 14-hour days. I try to, the way I kind of handle busy season, I kind of treat it more like a marathon. Basically, I want to try and take those hours and kind of spread them out. So while people might want to jam pack all their hours Monday through Thursday, hours till midnight, I'll decide to take those extra hours maybe after 9 p.m. and work like an 8-hour day on Sunday.
Wait, you're kind of breaking out, Tanner. Sorry, but you kind of broke out the last like 5 seconds. You kind of broke out.
Yep. Yeah. So one thing that I do, I try to space my hours out throughout the week. While some people try to work heavy hours Monday through Thursday, try to hope to take maybe one day off on Sunday, I'll choose to take maybe 2 or 3 hours off Monday through Thursday, put them on my Sunday, or like an 8-hour on Sunday. That way I can kind of log off or maybe get done my work day by 9:30, so I can try to get in that 7 hours of sleep every single night.
Got it. Yeah, no, I think the key too is just sticking to a schedule. I think that's it. I think when you're sporadic at what time you wake up, what time you go to sleep, that's like, I'll be honest with you, man, this past week, because we were actually supposed to do this podcast, I think last week, right? But yeah. I had texted you like, hey man, I'm just like, I'm literally, there's just too much going on, because just that week, oh man, it was just horrible. Like one day I went to bed like at 1 a.m. The next day I went to bed like at 10:30, and it was just kind of sporadic. And I just didn't feel good during that week. And my workouts were off. Like I just didn't feel up to myself. And I completely agree. But yeah, this week it's just, man, I've just been so much better about it. I'm like, all right, I wake up, me too. It's such a pain, but I wake up at 5 a.m. I get up at 5 a.m. and I just do what I have to do for myself. I run, I do try to read like 5-10 pages of a little book. I get my coffee, and it's just like the morning is just great to just focus on yourself and just kind of have that stillness in the morning where like, there's no one calling you. There's no conference calls. Rarely anyone is working between the hours of 5 and 7 a.m. You're usually not going to get, a partner, a client calling you during that time. So that time is usually set for myself. And I couldn't agree with you more. I just feel so much better throughout the day when I do stick to that schedule. And yeah, man, this week, that's why I just felt good, man. I was like super excited to talk to you today. I mean, I got all my work done pretty much as of Saturday night. And yeah, similar to you, I think the schedule is just key. So then do you pretty much just do like work 7 to like 10ish? Is that kind of like busy season hours for you?
Yep, yeah. During the week, it's probably about 7 a.m. to about maybe 9:30 or so. I try to start winding down, maybe be logged up by 9:30. That way, I'm trying to give me about 15 minutes to wind down, get ready for bed.
But you kind of broke out a little bit, Tanner. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah. So I try to wind down all my stuff with work, maybe about 9. Hopefully, be offline by about 9:30. That way, I can kind of hopefully get to bed by 9:45. Get 7 hours of sleep. Wake up at 4:45 the next morning.
Nice. Yeah, no, dude, I agree. Because even if you, let's say you want to go to bed at like 10, 11,
Yeah.
if you push it off till like, oh, I'm going to log off at like 10:45, dude, you're not going to go to bed till like midnight. Because it takes like a good half hour, 45 minutes, especially if you're on the computer. I feel like, yeah, you need that few hours to really just kind of wind down. Again, set that little time for yourself where, you know, you brush your teeth, you wash your mouth, you do whatever you have to do, whatever your night routine is. And then that really kind of helps you kind of ease into bed and then get ready for the next day. So then my next question is, dude, how do you stay like do you meal prep? Do you have like a meal prep service? Like what kind of foods do you recommend, or do you think that work for you for someone that has such a busy schedule like yourself?
Yeah, so in busy season past, where I had to go to the client and stuff like that, I did use a meal prep service where I would have meals delivered to me every single Sunday, bring them in the office or bring them to my client site, as opposed to going to the client site and having meals ordered in. I don't order out at all. That's one thing I just don't trust. For me, like, it's not trusting what people put in the food that they make.
Yep.
I basically trust what I make for myself. So this busy season here, being home all the time, I just been meal prepping every Sunday. That's what I did first thing this morning. Grocery shopping, very end of Saturday night. Wake up this morning, get my workout in, my meal prep in. I'm all done by 8 a.m. All ready for the week. And
wait, Tanner, so let me get this straight. So you already prepped your meals. Today's Sunday, March 21st, and you already prepped your meals. You're done. Yeah. Wow. See, I'm behind the game, man. I'm behind the 8 ball. I'm literally we're going to do this podcast. I'm going to edit it, and then I'm not going to go till tonight. So I need to step up my game because I am not done. Damn, dude. See what I mean? Oh man, I think another thing I'm just going to bring up, totally on side note, but I feel like what's so critical to your just professional development and personal development is start hanging out with people that are where you want to be, you know, dude, straight up, you are really where I want to be physically as far as my fit game, honestly, because dude, you're just on top of it, man. I do the best I can to like stay in shape, do my workouts, but man, you're on another level, dude. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. Sometimes there's days where I'll sleep in, and that doesn't happen often, but it does. And I look at my Instagram and Tanner's already done with his workout, working, posting his coffee at 7 a.m. I'm like, dude, how does he do it? How does he do it? I don't know where he finds the time, but no, dude, that's awesome, man. That's so cool that that you are able to kind of maintain that schedule. So I have a question then. So like, do you feel like it's motivation or discipline for you in the morning?
I feel like it's so much just like a routine now because
it's just like second nature to you.
It is basically, yeah.
It's just who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So I mean, I have pretty consistent workout schedule, doing the kind of same thing. I'll just kind of slowly progress it higher, but it's kind of doing the same routine. And then same with foods. I kind of make the same foods every single week. I know it works for me well. So
what do you eat? So what do you eat to look like Hercules, man? Just give us a secret. What do you eat? Like, what is your typical diet like?
So much. I had lots of chicken, lots of salmon, lots of turkey. So I guess lots of birds and fish is kind of the most meat. I eat lots of baked potatoes, lots of sweet potatoes, lots of baked red potatoes, lots of veggies. Basically all that I'm snacking on throughout the afternoon is fruit. Any kind of fruit, whatever's in season.
Nice. So then,
kind of
so walk us through like breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yep. So for breakfast, kind of have about 2 separate breakfasts. I'll kind of have my first part of my workout, take a little break, have some yogurt, I'll have some turkey sausage, some toast, get some water in, and I'll go back and kind of do a second round of a workout in the morning. After that, I'll kind of get ready for my day, start work, and I'll have like another protein bar, I'll have some water, and then I'll have probably another yogurt that time. Then it gets to lunch. Lunch is typically...
So then sorry to interrupt you, but so in the morning, it's pretty light as far as kind of what you're eating, not too heavy. And I feel like that kind of works for me too, where I have maybe a lighter breakfast, just because I feel like my body's a little bit more like I'm more focused at work. I just feel like I'm more alert, and maybe just because I just woke up maybe after my workout. But I feel like if you have a really really huge breakfast, I feel so sluggish after. Like I don't know. I don't feel like cognitively. I just can't really focus as I would like to. So do you kind of recommend more so like a lighter breakfast?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I haven't really thought about that way because I do. Now that I think about it, like, okay, my biggest meal that I have during the day is basically my dinner. I feel like after that dinner point, it's like, okay, that's where I kind of start slowing down a little
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like if I
Exactly.
put, based off your luck, if I put that in the morning, it's like, okay, I'm probably going to be sluggish for the rest of the day then if I start the big meal right away.
Exactly, dude. I know, like on a Sunday, right? When you go for brunch with your buddies or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. And dude, like after brunch, I'm done. I'm just
Exactly.
like, dude, I call it a day, man. I'm gonna watch Netflix for the rest of the day because I can't do anything. I
Yeah.
completely agree, especially when you're on the grind, when you're doing your thing. Diet is so important. But yeah, so then now for lunch, like kind of what's your typical lunch look like?
My typical lunch, probably like turkey breast, or sorry, chicken breast or two, bunch of baked sweet potatoes, kind of just my typical. And I usually have some kind of veggies as well, broccoli, sweet corn, lettuce, and seasoning.
Nice. And then for dinner, what? So you said dinner is your heaviest meal. What do you typically have for that?
Dinner, usually quite a bit of, I say my favorite one is definitely salmon. I have lots of salmon that I typically have for dinner, lots of red potatoes. Definitely, there's always a fruit and a vegetable. So I have lots of carbs throughout the day. I mean, each week I probably meal prep maybe 4 to 5 pounds of sweet potatoes, probably 4 pounds of
Nice.
potatoes. That's only me just consuming it.
So dude, so I'm assuming you're not very about the ketogenic diet, right? Got it. So dude, do you fall like in any of these like I know, dude, I know people, this is like religion to them, like keto, intermittent fasting, track your macros. Or do you feel like, especially if you live such a busy lifestyle, do you feel like maybe just eating good is really the key to this? Like without having so like do you weigh your food out or any of that stuff? Or you really kind of just eyeball it and you're like, hey man, I'm eating good food. So therefore it kind of goes into how I feel. And then typically that's a byproduct then as far as looking good too. Or like what do you recommend for that?
Yeah, so at first, what I definitely did track my macros all at first, and I weighed
Got
all
it.
my food. Myself is okay, this is how much I'm eating, kind of get used to like, all right, kind of treat myself like a science experiment, okay? Eating this much this week, so many calories a day, like, okay, how am I feeling? It's like, okay, I feel my performance is better, so like, let me work on that. Like, what happens if I decrease more? If I decrease my calories maybe some weeks, like, okay, performance is not as well, so maybe help me find that sweet spot, also educate myself, like, okay, what's actually in the food that I'm eating? It gives me to go to the grocery store, read the nutritional facts on these products, okay, what am I actually putting in my body? If I'm looking at these ingredients, I don't even know what half these ingredients are. I'm just going to put it back on the shelf. But it's basically,
Exactly.
I focus a lot on just like clean ingredients. So just, mostly, it's like classic thing, just going to the farmer's market for me. All my produce, potatoes, vegetables, fruits. It's kind of my go-to.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do that now, whereby I don't really keep like any junk food in my house anymore. I just don't
No.
because I know if it's there, I'm gonna eat it. Like
Yep.
dude, I'm a fat boy at heart, man. I'll be honest with you, dude. You give me some Ben and Jerry's, I go to town, dude. I go to town on a Ben and Jerry's. So I try to not like have that at the house. But yeah, dude, like today I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I'm really just gonna stick to like the outside of the grocery store, which is like salmon. To your point, salmon, some ground beef, some chicken, some vegetables. I'm gonna get there, Tanner. Do this summer. My goal is to really just bring the best self that I can. So yeah, man, I'm totally committed to this lifestyle. And then yeah, man, I'm so thankful to have met you and kind of get some motivation from you as far as like, dude, just pretty much like, you don't skip a beat, man. Like I'm pretty consistent about waking up early, but to my point, like I sometimes I miss it, sometimes I'm like, and I justify it in my head. And it's
Yeah.
funny. And I feel like, and it's funny, I follow this guy called Andy Frisella. It's super awesome guy. He's a owner of First Form. And he calls it like the B voice, right? Where it's like, yeah, that's your, BITCH voice talking that like you don't want to get up. And I feel that whenever I need to do something. And then it's funny, I highly recommend a book. It's called The War of Art. Not The Art of War, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And he labels this like thing that we feel that's inside of all of us as like resistance. He calls it like, that's what he calls it. And I feel it all the time where I want to do something, or I want to do something good for myself, or I want to work or whatever. It can be any task that requires some type of skill, ability, or effort. You'll have that little voice in your head telling you like, oh, you know what? You worked really hard this week. Like you deserve that pizza. Or, hey, you know what? You don't need to write that extra email. You should go to sleep. Oh, you don't need to wake up early. Why are you going to do that? And I feel it all the time. And finally, it's cool. After I read that book, I literally now can identify and be like, dude, that's literally like resistance. Like that's literally my thing in my head. And so like, how do you overcome that in the morning?
For me, I just know I have the same thing. Like I just wake up in the morning. I always make the habit, okay, get the alarm go off, the first beep or whatever the sound is, I stop it right away. I get out of bed instantly. I don't get up and kind of look at my phone.
So you're not a snoozer. So you're not a
No,
snoozer.
never.
Dude, that's the key, right? You don't
Yes.
snooze. Yeah. Nice. So as soon as you hear something, you're up.
Yep, I get up right away. And I mean, once I get out of bed, it's like, okay, tired. I just want to go back. I go get my coffee. I start warming up. And then even sometimes the first half of my workout, it's like, oh, this sucks. I'm not doing very well. I should just stay in bed. But then once I get done with the workout, I feel 100 times better. Like, wow, I did that. I mean, not to make excuses for yourself at times. Next thing, I just don't allow myself to make excuses. So if I feel tired, it's like, or if I like the first part of the workout doesn't do as well as I hoped, like, okay, I'm going to make the second part of the workout twice as good then. So I always had a feeling of accomplishment afterwards. So I always know, like, okay, I'm going to get done with this workout, I'm going to feel accomplished. I'm not going to be thinking about, okay, first 10 minutes of the morning, greatest.
Yeah, no, dude, I completely agree. I think it's funny. I compare it every time to where I wake up in the morning. I'm like, man, I don't want to go. And even if maybe I didn't have like the greatest workout, dude, in the morning, like after a shower and I'm shaving and stuff, I feel amazing, dude. Like, and I wish everyone can understand how good that feels. I honestly, there's no, I mean, look, I'm sure, both of us, we've had raises in our life. We've bought both homes. Like those things feel great.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I can't, and it's free, right? It takes no money, it takes no effort, it takes no skill, no talent to have that feeling in the morning after you're done doing something for yourself, where you're like, man, you just feel on top of the world. Like you legit feel like $1,000,000, and that just really carries on through the rest of your day.
It does.
So now that we kind of talked about, working out and how you got into sparring racing, I'm curious, dude. So how was your going through your first home purchase specifically during COVID? I'm just because I've shared this on my on YouTube before, but I bought a duplex about a year. It's been like maybe a year, 4 months, a year, 5 months. And that was an experience in itself because I closed on my house and then COVID pretty much came like right after. So that was not fun. But like, how was that experience, dude? Like, how did you know you were ready? For maybe some people that are listening to this that are like maybe thinking about getting a home now. Maybe I hope that people like you and I have showed people that like it's possible, like it's not impossible to buy a home. Like I remember honestly knowing what I know now. I wish I would have got a home 5 years ago. Like legit, I wish. I think my salary even as a staff, sure, it would have been a little tough. It's still tough now. I could have been there. I really could have. Maybe after like my first 2 years of working, the amount of like down payment that if I wish I knew I needed, I would have done it so long ago. But like, how'd you go through that process? How'd you feel like, you know what, I'm ready. Like it's my time to buy a home.
Yeah, I was the same way. So it was last summer, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I can afford to buy a house come after busy season. Like, okay, but at first, like, we kind of reached out to a realtor, got pre-approved, and like, oh, we can actually afford a house right now. So they were like,
yeah,
well, let's just buy a house now. Why wait 6 months from now? Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, we didn't think we could afford a house yet, but really we could. It's our situation. Ended up looking at a couple houses, put an offer on one of them, got accepted right away. Probably one of the much smoother close process than I expected. Home inspection was good, COVID and everything. So we ended up buying the house officially in mid-September of last year.
Nice. Were you were you scared a little bit? Like, how'd you feel, dude?
Oh, I was nerve-wracking the whole time. I was like, man, it's like I've never spent this much money before. Like, oh, that's a lot of money. It's like, am I making the right decision? But I'm so happy with the decision now. It's by far the best choice I've ever made.
Oh yeah, man, that's so nice to hear. Cause yeah, dude, I was the same way. I mean, I closed on my house, right? And oh man, I like even a few weeks after, I'm like, dude, did I make the right choice? Like, what am I doing? Like, I would go to sleep. I'm like, dude, how am I gonna do this? Like, I'm so scared. And oh, dude, now a year and a half later, even through all this COVID stuff and everything, oh man, I'm telling you, I'm kicking myself in the butt because I wish I would have done this earlier. I wish I would have. I wish I knew that, you can do this. Like, you can get into real estate. Like, it's not impossible. Like, it's not just for super rich, wealthy people. Like, people that have worked hard, have a great profession, have a great skill, that have a nice salary to back them. Dude, you can do it. No problem. Like, man, I'm telling you, that's the only regret I have in my 20s is maybe not doing it sooner. For sure.
I think, because we were renting a house before.
Okay.
And we now pay less. A nicer house on our mortgage. We pay less than we were renting on a house before. Like, why didn't I do this like 2 years earlier?
Dude, and then it's going straight back into your pocket. I mean, sure, you're not going to see that money until you sell it, but at the same time, it's literally like a forced savings account. That's literally what I call equity. Like, it's literally going back into your pocket. And so I have a duplex myself. So I have tenants and stuff and another unit. And dude, it works out so great, man. Like, and then dude, I live maybe 2 miles from downtown LA. So I'll be honest with you, man. LA is definitely, different for sure. It's the city, right? But oh yeah, I mean, we'll see, how long I end up staying here and stuff. But dude, it's the best decision I ever made. Like there's one thing I can motivate younger individuals to start looking into is like different investment vehicles that you can do that are going to set you up by the time you're 30 years old, right? Because I'm so happy. One thing I did do was like, I started a Roth IRA, I started a 401k. Back like literally I was a staff, like I was like 21, 22. And seeing it now, like back then, right? It was maybe I was like contributing whatever, like $500 to my Roth IRA every month, right? Whatever. And I didn't think it was much. But
Yeah.
dude, now, what, 7 years later, you look back and you're like, wow, dude, like that's awesome,
Yeah, I could, same thing with like investing and also investing in yourself. Just that compounding effect. Like invest early, put a little bit now and now. And it begins, like, it's not seeming very much.
Yeah.
It does build up over time. Same with yourself. Like try to get 1% better every single day. That compound. Like you might not see much at the time every day. Like, oh, I ran an extra half a mile today. It didn't seem like much. But as you kind of build more and more over time, it does build up to actually something.
Oh yeah, no, dude. And then there's a great book too. I'm not a huge like physical book reader, but dude, Audible, I smash Audible, dude. Like,
Yep.
I literally finished so many Audibles. I love it. Dude, and then one book I finished recently, The Compound Effect. Dude, it's so true, man. Like these little small changes you make every single day, dude, over a course of 5-10 years, you're gonna be a different person. Like I even look back at my life when I was like 17 years old and just like completely lost. And now like 29, I'm like, dude, I'm so glad. Like I am so thankful for that 21, 22-year-old kid that like just kind of put off a little bit of fun for a little bit to study for the exam, to get done, to like put the time into now, 20, looking forward. Oh, dude, I'm so excited to turn 30, dude. Like I'm so excited. Like, dude, I literally think about like my 40-year-old self, dude, and I get stoked. I literally get stoked. I'm like, man, dude, like I'm just going to be like this partner. I'm going to be like cool, I'm going to be awesome. And dude, I think that's what we have to keep striving for, like that little vision you see for yourself that you continue to do. So dude, my biggest question now is that how did you maneuver like COVID with work? Like, how did you feel? Like, are you accustomed to work from home? How do you feel about it? What do you think is the future of like work from home? And how do you feel it's going to affect our profession?
Yeah, I mean, I personally love work from home. I mean, it allows me, because before I was probably spending 2 hours of my day just commuting alone. Now I have that 2 hours back, so I can start work an hour sooner, get done with work maybe an hour or two sooner as well, have more time for myself, spend more time with my loved ones, with my pets and stuff like that. If I want to take a walk in the middle of the day, that's what I do every afternoon. Take a 15-minute break, head outside, take a lap on the block, take my dog for a walk. It's been so nice. I've been so much more enjoyable. I can make I can still meal prep my food, but I can like have it right in my kitchen, stuff like that, as opposed to packing it all up, hauling into the cafeteria, my clients and stuff like that. I personally love the current work from home situation. Not sure if it's going to stay like it forever. I mean, eventually, I can see us probably going back and maybe late fall, hopefully.
Yep.
But and then maybe we're on the client side. I don't know. Maybe we'll have 2 to 3 days that are. Hopefully, there's some kind of.
You kind of broke out a little bit, Tanner. Sorry, you kind of broke out a little bit.
Oh, I was saying, hopefully, there's some kind of flexibility in the future, kind of. Where it's kind of a split. You're like, okay, you can still be from home 2 to 3 days a week, but you still go to the client side, have that face-to-face interaction.
Dude, I completely agree. I think this is my prediction, right? I think I could be completely wrong. I think work from home is here to stay, but I think it's going to be a hybrid, because the problem I have with work from home, like just either or, right? Because I don't think going back to the office every single day again, I don't think that's coming back. I just don't. And I also don't like permanently, hey, everyone work from home forever, because how do you build culture with everyone at home, right? How do you so one thing that I got from one of my staff recently is like, hey man, honestly, sometimes I just feel like a cog in a machine. Like someone hands me work, I don't see anyone, and I just do what I have to do, and then that's it. And I shut off and then I go to sleep. And I feel like, how do companies, how are you going to build culture without like some type of, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. I think, we have technology now and I'm able to like talk to you via Zoom, right? You're in Chicago, I'm in LA, and we're doing this right now. I don't have to go, fly to you and stuff. So I do feel like COVID has brought a lot of opportunity, but at the same time, I don't think face-to-face interaction, I don't think that's ever you can't replicate that. Like you just can't, So I feel like, especially in what we do in audit, I agree. I think maybe like a 3-day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, hey, work from home, Tuesday, Thursday, let's have client meetings. Let's go and get, selections or samples or support or whatever we need from them. Let's get all the meetings out of the way. And then, everyone else can work from home after that. I completely agree, dude. I think it's here to stay. I just hope that we find the best balance between the two, because I feel like going one way, either, hey, everyone has to go to the office every single day again, because I think we did find some inefficiencies in how it was being done. But then permanently working from home too, I do find effects there, because I do feel like some people, maybe they live by themselves, maybe, this is like they literally just have their small apartment, especially as a staff or whatever, and they feel like kind of like lonely. And I can see that. I see it in some of my staff and some of the people that kind of tell me how they feel. So I think if we could find the best of both worlds, oh dude, I think it's going to be so much better for everything. The environment, the people's mental health, everything is just going to be so much better if we find the best balance with working from home and kind of going to the office.
Yep, I agree. And I think it's also a little different whether you're a new hire at the firm or like someone older like us. Like for us, it's like, okay, it's easier for us to say, we only need to be there 2 days.
Yep.
I feel like the younger auditors or the younger staff need to be there maybe 3 to 4 days just to get more of that. The same with the senior. To have more of that coaching opportunities. I feel like they've had probably the hardest point for this whole pandemic is just being a new hire. You come in and you just feel completely lost because you can't just have like your senior just turn your head over and just ask them a question. And I feel like they're missing out on a pretty good amount of learning opportunities. So I feel like having them more closely with someone that can kind of help them develop them is more valuable in the early stages. But once you get hired from the firm, I can see, all right, maybe there's no point in me being there 5 days a week. Go up 2 days a week, have face with the clients, work with the team while they're there. Otherwise, yeah, I do agree that I think maybe with the younger staff should maybe.
Dude, you know what? You brought up a good point that I didn't even mention. And I'm talking about it how you and I, right? We're managers. Like we're kind of self-sufficient, right? Like I don't think there's anything that you can assign me that I won't be able to figure out. Like I've gotten to a point in my career where I think that's the beauty of staying in public accounting this long as we have, is that you finally feel kind of independent. You finally feel like, hey, no matter what you throw at me, I can figure it out. Like I can use my best resource, Mr. Google, and start there. Dude, it's funny. Like I feel like people like, how my teams ask me like, hey dude, how'd you figure this out? I'm like, hey dude, just take a step back. Just Google it, like read like basic understanding, basic. And then once you have like a general like, oh, okay, that's what they did. And then I'll be honest with you, dude, EY guides, the best. EY, I'm totally being, whatever. I'm a RSM fanboy, but dude, EY guides, you guys know how to do it, dude. You're financial. I think it's like financial reporting developments or FDR. No, I don't even know what they're called really, but dude, I just say like business combination EY guide, dude, pop it up. And I just figured it out. They're the best. Yeah, I love them, but I just totally had a nerd moment, but, yeah, dude, I completely agree. I think COVID for us, I think it's great as far as like work from home. Cause like, dude, yeah, I personally, I don't need to go to the office like ever. I mean, I can literally do everything I need to do from the comfort of my home. I can literally do everything from my laptop because I don't really need someone to like walk me through anything anymore. Like I feel like don't get me wrong. Like, sure, it's great to have that face to face, but if it really came down to it, I don't need anyone other than maybe, to talk through some technical matters with a partner, but we can do that via Zoom or WebEx or whatever people use. Right. But dude, I completely agree, man. I talk to my staff every day and I tell them, hey, look, like what you guys went through this last year and a half, like I commend you for it. I really do, because I look back to my first year, dude. I don't know if I would have been able to do it. Honestly, like I was so lost, man. Like there's times where like they assigned me work and I'd sit there. I'm like, dude, like I don't want to bug my senior again. Like I just asked him a question like 10 minutes ago and I don't want to ask him again, but like at the top of the hour, I'm going to have to, because I don't know what I'm staring at, And I think I try to put myself in their position. I'm like, man, I can't imagine like maybe I have my own apartment. I live by myself. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm like so confused. I'm super stressed because there's a deadline. Dude, I feel for them, man. I really do. I really do. And you brought up a great point, is that maybe I think it needs to be taken. Again, we need to find the best approach for everyone, right? Because like you and I and partners and stuff and people, high level executives, like, yeah, we don't really need to be anywhere, right? But then onboarding someone, whether it's in public accounting, whether you're someone else, training them that face-to-face interaction, man, it's tough, right? I think it creates more inefficiencies there. Like, what do you kind of think about that?
I know for so often, I agree with you, like in your first few years, like it's so much easier to reach over and ask someone there, but always like you have to get on a call, like first on a call 10 minutes, like now we got to try and schedule another call with the senior.
Yep.
That's one thing I always try to make myself available. Like I always try to call my staff, like, hey, if your seat is not available, if you're on a call right now, you see I'm not on a call, just call me. I can answer your questions. Well, I'll be there to help you right away. I don't want you sitting there in your apartment, just sitting there like, I don't know what to do. You're
Yeah.
just sitting there, just waiting for someone to be available. Ask a question like, hey,
Exactly.
send me a message, like, or ping me, or anything. Just reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I'll jump on a call. I'll coach you through it, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, no, dude, I completely agree, man. I think onboarding someone, yeah, like I always try to remind myself, like, man, dude, they're literally at home, like they're trying to learn this stuff, you know. And I completely agree. I think again, I think we need to find the best approach for everyone, but I do feel like both sides have shown us, like, okay, maybe we should change the way we do stuff, right? Like I had one of my companies is going through transaction and what have you, and we have a work paper review. People come review, for those of you who don't know, people come review our own audit work to see, provide their own report for the scope of work that they were engaged to do. And it's all being done remote now. Like before, these due diligence teams would fly to God knows where and fly here and fly here. Now they can all do it from, their own local office, and they don't have to, come to LA from New York or wherever they're at, So no, I feel like work from home is here to stay. But yeah, I don't see it being a permanent thing one way or another. So, but it's exciting, man. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, to whatever ends up happening, but yeah, I think, we'll just adapt. But I feel like and it's funny, I feel like the way firms work, these big firms, is like once one of them makes a decision, everyone else is just going to follow, like everyone else is just going to take lead. So yeah, we'll see who ends up making it like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And then we'll kind of, slowly start taking it from there. But no, yeah, no, I agree, man. I think, dude, today has been awesome. I don't want to, take up too much of your time. I think we're going on an hour now. So, but yeah, so like, I'm just curious, what's next for you? Like, what are you kind of striving for? What are your goals this upcoming year, and kind of long-term and short-term?
Yes, I mean, my intentions, I don't know in terms of public accounting, I have no intention of probably staying until partner level. I'm still just taking it basically every fall. I kind of reflect, all right, where am I in my life? I'll be in public accounting other years, like, yep, I have nothing that's kind of driving me away. Some opportunities like just pulling me out of public accounting. So I have full attention to kind of stay in public accounting for the personal goals, continue to keep racing as much as I can. Nice. Thankful that races look like a comeback this year. I'm racing the World Championships this year for obstacle course racing in the Spartan Ultra World Championships this year. So lots of big goals there to kind of look forward to. Kind of hopefully nothing kind of roadblocks me in 2020. But went for a good year ahead here.
No, yeah, agreed. No, dude, and I completely agree. And I like your take on it. And I do the same thing. I assess every year, I'll be honest with you. I'm a huge public accounting fanboy. I don't know why I like it so much. Maybe because I have like a super bad addictive personality, but I like it. And I like the opportunities that it's given me like this, right? Like I'm able to go speak to students. I'm able to do a lot of other things that maybe if I were in private industry, I wouldn't be able to do or wouldn't have given the opportunity to do so. But yeah, I know, to your point though, I mean, I say in my head, like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a partner, but who knows, right? Who knows? Things change. Things change. I mean, to your point, like, one thing I'd like to say too, you just got engaged, right? Not too long, or you got engaged, right? So you're engaged. Yeah. So like life changes, like I'm a very happily single man. I love it. It comes with a lot of perks, but there's also some things that sometimes I think like, hey, do I want to get married one day? Do I want to have kids? Like, so, as your life changes, and I try to always stress this in my videos, is that just do the best you can wherever you're at. Yeah. Whatever stage in life you're in, make the best of it. When I was, 20, 21 years old, and I was like barely getting into accounting and barely figuring it out, dude, I was enjoying it then. And now, as a manager, and now like getting into real estate, and now like trying to, make sure, and, my YouTube channel, and trying to take that off because I'm so passionate about like helping other people. I'm enjoying that right now. But in 5 years, who knows, right? Who knows where I'm going to be at? Maybe I might be a partner. Maybe I might be in private industry. Maybe I might own my own practice. Who knows, right? But I feel like you hit it on the head. I think it's assessing every year. I think it's taking a step back and asking yourself, right, where do I want to be at? And is my current job, relationship, or what have you helping me get there? If not, then move on, whatever it is from, So cool, man. Awesome. Dude, I had such a good time talking to you today, man. It was, like I said, I'm sorry if I fanboyed a little bit over you. No. Dude, and it's so cool that, like I said, that like now we're able to kind of meet and talk. And dude, I think we've been friends on Instagram for like a year now. So no, it's great to have you on. Again, I'm going to totally give you a plug too. Make sure you guys follow Tanner on Instagram, YouTube. He actually has his own YouTube channel as well. So make sure you go check that out. And yeah, I hope you guys got some value from the content today. And Tanner, thank you so much again for hopping on.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right, guys, that's going to be the episode for Beyond the Financial Statements. Till next time, work hard, dress well. Peace.